leaving, doing the east-west commute because they can't get a full-time job here. There are nurses leaving because they can't get jobs here. There are people in administration leaving because they can't get jobs here. And the proof that they're qualified is the fact they can do this job anywhere else, just not in New Brunswick. And again, if they can provide service in multiple languages all across Canada, with the Greater Toronto Area being the prime example, then surely to heaven we can come together in unity and say this is the 21st century. We are all equal, and if you're qualified, especially for these medics and nurses who have seniority hours, 2,000 or 3,000 seniority hours, and they can't apply for a full-time job and it's given to somebody who's a brand new graduate or from Quebec. I'm nothing against Quebec, but I'm saying why are we importing people when we have people who are qualified with their butts in the seats? And I'll tell you something, our medics are trained, just to put a plug in for them, they're great people, every single one of them. And they're trained to treat you whether you're unconscious, whether you speak neither English nor French, which actually in my area, if they were to get anybody who didn't speak English, it would probably not be a French speaker. It would be one of the Asian languages, and so they're trained to treat people in all kinds of situations. The people who can't communicate maybe have a disability that makes them unable to communicate via speech. They're trained to treat children. They're trained to treat the mentally handicapped. They can do all of these things. They can communicate, and if we add the technology. Right now, for example, I give this example all the time when I'm talking to people. Our ambulances are equipped with Wi-Fi already. They have had in place forever, practically, a language line that they can access, staffed with bilingual medics 24 hours a day. It's hardly ever used, but they have it. It would be so easy to switch our systems to instant video links, wouldn't it? We have that technology. So if on the off chance you get somebody who can't communicate with you in your language, we could video link to a translator, French, English, or otherwise. Someone who can communicate with both. And again, I'm not saying I expect something for somebody else I wouldn't expect for myself. I would be perfectly happy with that. If I were in an area where they didn't speak English, I wouldn't expect somebody to speak English with me, and if they could provide it for me in another way, I would be just grateful that they would help me. So I'm asking for equality. I'm asking to stop the discrimination in hiring. It needs to be more sensible. In my little hospital, it used to be they had one bilingual person on staff 24 hours a day. And it was understood that if somebody comes in and needed bilingual services, that person will drop whatever they're doing and go to that person who needed it. And it worked, and it was very seldom used, 5 times a year, maybe something like that. But now, no way. It's got to be 40% bilingual hiring in the hospital, 50% in ambulance New Brunswick, for a population that's 2% French only. And so we're denying jobs. We're denying jobs to 60% of our qualified, more than 60%, because our population is like 95% English only. So we're denying jobs to all of those people to fill a quota that doesn't even make sense, and it doesn't make sense when you consider the technology we have. There are better ways to do this, and our medics, they get along great. I'm not saying anything. This is affecting our bilingual medics too, because of the seat transfers, and there's just all kinds of things that it's affecting. It's not affecting just our English speakers. So I want to make that very clear. And they all get along. This is not them pushing. This is not our workers fighting amongst themselves pushing for this. This is a government agenda. This saying the only way we can provide service in the language of choice is through across-the-board personnel hiring ratios, and that just doesn't make sense. Everywhere else in the world does it. Why can't we just unite, do what's best for our province, and stop discriminating against people if they only speak one language?